Hey you guys, it is I, your very own Amaru, and I'd like to welcome you to a new episode of Food and the Single Guy. Now on this episode of Food and the Single Guy, I'm gonna cook you some comfort food from the homeland. Oh yes, it is a dish from the Javanese cuisine from my country, and it's called Kentang Pedas, meaning spicy and hot potato wedges, okay? Now, if you know anything about my country's population, you will know that we have a very diverse population in my country due to colonization and migrant workers and all of that beautiful stuff from back in the back day. And the people that came from the island of Java in Indonesia, they have their own cuisine, and I have Japanese family members also. So this is a dish from the Japanese cuisine. But let me just say this to you, because in general, people deep fry the potato first instead of boiling it. As you will see later on in the episode, I boil my potatoes instead of deep frying the potatoes because that's the way I like it, okay? When I make this dish, I don't deep fry the potatoes first because I like it when the potatoes are a little soft. And you have to use potatoes that are a solid cooking potato. Don't use the crummy potatoes. You need to use a solid cooking potato, and it will generate a very soft, very comfort food-ish like potato dish. That's not even a correct sentence. I know, bear with me. But I'll show you later on in the episode. You know, people deep fry the potato first and then they coat it. The principle of preparing the dish is exactly the same. The only difference would be I am boiling my potatoes as opposed to deep frying the potatoes, if that makes any sense. Okay? Now, enough with the chatter. Let's move on to the cooking. All the ingredients will be listed below, so without further ado, let us continue. Okay, you guys, and now for some of the ingredients. What I have here is the ketchup manis, or sweet soy sauce, and the consistency of ketchup manis is a little thicker than your regular soy sauce. What I have here is the kentjor, also known as sand ginger or aromatic ginger, and this is what it looks like in its dry form. And as you can see, this is the way they sell it up here in nice little chunks, and this is very strong actually. So if you can find this in your neck of the woods and you're gonna cook with it, be mindful of that. You only use a couple of chunks of the kentjor because it will definitely overpower your dish. Now, I am not going to use the chunks. I am going to use the powder because it also comes in a powder. And let me tell you something, the powder is 10 times stronger. So we're simply going to use a little bit of the kentjor powder. Kentjor, I have to pronounce it correctly. And what I have here is trasie. This is trasie powder. Now trasie in Indonesian cooking is fermented shrimp paste, and they also sell it in a powder, and this is what it looks like. I can show you. All right. And we're going to use a little bit of this also for our dish. What I have here is the gula djawa. Gula means sugar. Djawa means from the island of Java, Indonesia. So this is actually Indonesian sugar. And as you can see, it is nicely packaged in these disc shaped pieces for easy usage. What I'm also going to add to this dish is some Indonesian bay leaves, also known as daun salam, and we're going to use a couple of these. It has a different flavor than European bay leaves. Okay, now let's move on to the potatoes. I'm going to make a small amount today because this thing is so delicious you can easily overeat. So I'm simply going to make a small batch of these delicious spicy potatoes. And last but not least, let me introduce you to the aromatics. What I have here is an onion. Over here we have 4 cloves of garlic. What I have here are my slices of galangal root. And last but definitely not least, this monster of a pepper. It is monstrous in that it is very freaking hot, okay? And I don't do a lot of spicy food, so I'm only gonna use 1 pepper for my potatoes, okay? Next, what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna finely chop in my chopper the onion and the garlic and the pepper so that it turns into a nice paste, and then I will show you how to proceed. So let's move on. Okay, you guys, now before we move on, let's talk potatoes, because as you can see, I am using these very cute little potatoes. Let me bring them in a little closer so you can see them. And these are a very solid cooking potato, and you're better off using a solid cooking potato if you're going to make this dish. Now, generally when people make this dish, they deep fry their potato first. That is not the version that I like. I like it when my potatoes are boiled, okay? But the principle is exactly the same. You will deep fry your potato wedges or your potato cubes, and you will drain them, of course, and then at the end you're going to add them to the mixture, okay, and coat them with that delicious pepper, garlic, and onion mix. Okay, so let's continue. Well, alrighty then, beautiful people. What I have here are my finely chopped onion and garlic and pepper, and I use my chopper to make this paste. Next, what I'm going to do, I am going to boil the potatoes, and after that, it is only a matter of putting together the dish. But before you boil the potatoes, make sure to cut them into wedges, just like so. Alright? Now let's take these bad boys to the stove. Now I am only including this step to show you that this is the way it's traditionally done. But for my version, I am going to boil my potatoes because that's how I like it. Okay? Okay, you guys, so on the previous episode, I showed you my old and decrepit wok. This, however, is one of my new woks, and I've added a significant amount of oil to the wok, and as soon as the oil is hot, we are going to add the rest of the ingredients. So the first thing we're going to add to the oil is some of that shrimp paste powder, just like so, followed by the Indonesian bay leaves, directly followed by the galangal root. And of course, we're going to give it a nice stir. And you're going to allow this to cook for about a minute. Next, we're going to add the pepper and the garlic and the onion paste. And of course, we're going to give it a nice stir. And you're going to allow this to simmer for about 2 minutes. And as you can see, the paste has soaked up a lot of the oil, and that is why we add a significant amount of oil, okay? Otherwise, your potatoes will be very dry, and that is not what you want, okay? Alright, so next we're gonna add the gula djawa, just like so. And we're simply going to stir the sugar into the rest of the mix, making sure that it melts completely. So this is looking good, it is smelling good. We are now going to add a little bit of the sweet soy sauce. There we go, just a little bit. And you don't want to cook this on high heat, you guys. Keep that in mind, or else the ingredients are going to burn. Now what we're also going to add is some of the kentjor powder. That will do just fine. As I told you earlier, this is very, very strong. Now what we're also going to add is some chicken powder without MSG, for those who care. And of course, we're going to give it a nice stir. And you want to end up with a flavor that is a little bit spicy, a little bit savory, and a little bit sweet. Okay? An equal amount of those flavors. That is what you're looking for. And as soon as you've achieved that flavor, you're going to add the potatoes. So next, you're going to gently coat the potatoes with all of this goodness, and after about 2 minutes, your spicy potatoes, your Kentang Pedas manis is ready. But let's not forget about the parsley. There we go. There you have it, the final presentation. Doesn't that look gorgeous? Baby, let me tell you, it was beyond gorgeous. It was delicious, I'm not gonna lie to you. And I can tell you that even though I added just 1 pepper, I had steam coming out of every orifice on this body. Okay, that is all you need to know. I'm not gonna elaborate. You don't need to know any of those details. But anyways, you guys, if you decide to try my version of Kentang Pedas manis, let me know how it turned out, because I'm always interested in hearing from you. In the meantime, I want to say thank you to each and every one of you for supporting this channel, for watching the videos, for sharing them wherever you share your videos. Thank you so much for the support. I don't take it for granted, okay? Now, I want to wish you a happy weekend. Do be well, take care, happy cooking, happy eating. Don't act crazy to the craziness, and I will see you when I see you. Have a good one, you guys. Bye.